Hey there, folks. Today is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. This is Maundy Thursday in our Holy Week, quarantine style. I've got one announcement for you before I give you the meditation thought for today, and that is following up on an email that we sent that this is a very different Maundy Thursday than we're used to. If you haven't had a chance to look at the email that went out, we do encourage you to do that. We will post our Maundy Thursday worship service tonight, this evening, around 7 p.m. I know that's kind of late for some of you with young children, and maybe some of you without young children who just like to go to bed early. So it might sneak onto the web a little earlier than that, but around 7 o'clock, our worship service will go up. Part of what makes Maundy Thursday special, and this time of Holy Week special, is remembering that moment when Jesus shared the meal with his disciples in the upper room, the Lord's Supper, and so every Maundy Thursday, this is what we do. We celebrate the Lord's Supper in a very meaningful way, almost, and I'm not taking away from when we do it all year long, but there's something about doing it on Maundy Thursday, knowing that this is when it started, that makes it even all that more special. So we're going to do that together tonight, and we want to invite you and your households to participate in that. What that means is that you bring your own bread and your own cup to the table tonight for worship. If you don't have bread, don't worry about it. It could be crackers, it could be a tortilla, a pita. I mean, it doesn't matter. Same for the cup. You can use juice, wine. If you don't have either of those things, tea, I don't know, get creative. It doesn't matter. It is a symbolic meal, but the important thing is that you have these things with you, and you'll be able to follow along in worship, and when the time comes, you'll know it, and you'll be able to share in that experience with us as we do it. And all of us families will be doing it together. I think it's a really neat thing that we'll be able to share to experience the presence of Christ at his table, right in our own homes, right where we are. I think will be really neat. So that's the announcement. The meditation thought for today is sort of inspired by these things. The exercise of preparing and sharing a meal that Jesus did. Also on this night, we remember Jesus washed the disciples' feet. There's almost nothing more mundane about the task of washing someone's feet back in those days. This is a mundane job. And I was talking to a friend of mine who reminded me of a quote from Brother Lawrence, which I'm sure many of you have heard before, here's the quote, that we ought not to be weary of doing little things for the love of God, who regards not the greatness of the work, but the love with which it is performed. It makes me wonder, what is the work that you're doing? What is the work that I'm doing? And not just our jobs, whether we have to go report in or we're doing our work from home, but anything that we do throughout the day. I think this is what Brother Lawrence is talking about, whether it's for work or pleasure, whether it's something we'd rather not do or it's recreation, any of that is our work. Any outpouring of our sacred energy, our God-given energy throughout the day, any choice that we make, or any of it, all of that is our work. And this quote from Brother Lawrence, that we ought not to be weary of doing little things for the love of God, God who does not regard the greatness of the work, but the love with which it is performed. This is I don't get a lot of comfort from this, if I'm being honest. It's a very convicting message, because I think a lot of the work that I do is not infused with the love of God. It's not done with the love of God. So, I mean, I am encouraged by this, but it's also a challenge. And so that's my encouragement for you all, that today, especially today, as we kind of creep toward our Maundy Thursday worship together and into this kind of dark Good Friday, get closer and closer to Easter, that you would join me in doing work for the love of God. Everything that we do, whether it's mundane or not, whether it's work related or personal, all of it, that we would do it with the love of God in our hearts. And I think that how that works, maybe we should read the Brother Lawrence book. I think it has to do with the gratitude and an awareness of God's love for us. But make no mistake, this is work itself. This is not, I don't think this comes naturally. I don't think that it happens by accident. I think Brother Lawrence knew that. I think this takes effort. And it's my encouragement to you that in all things, in all the work that you do, whether it's big or small, whether it seems insignificant or great, to remember that God does not regard the work itself, but the love with which the work is performed. And remembering that before any of that, that God loved us first. This is all very good news. Peace, brothers and sisters. We look forward to worshiping with you tonight.